Hi, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to make a YouTube thumbnail. Now, I make mine in a very specific way in a very specific program. I make mine in Photoshop CS2. Now, yes, it's very outdated, but it gets the job done. Now what I do is I click New. Now you want to have it, I have my preset saved as YouTube thumbnail. I just saved it, but if you just do default Photoshop size, it gives you all this. You want to change it to, where'd it go? YouTube thumbnail, 1280 by 720, resolution 72, and basically just match all the settings up here. I apologize, I have a cough. Anyways, once you have this all together, click OK, and you'll get this. Now you're probably like, what do I do with this? Well, let me tell you. What you have here is your rectangle tool. Now this is very important in the beginning. You want to click that, so now it's selected, as you can see up here. Don't touch that stuff, I don't know what it does. Now, starting from the top corner, go down 1, 2 pixels, then 1, 2 across. So now you have a 2 by 2 pixel picture. Now drag it across just ever so carefully. And then you want to go do the same thing down here. 1, 2, 1, 2. You might need to match it up a little more when you get there, but once it's done, let go of the clicker and you got this. Now you're like, why on earth would I want to do that? Well, I'm going to show you. Next thing you want to do is click Paint Bucket tool. Now, it may be on the Gradient tool when you start, but to fix that, hold it down and it'll give you the other options when you click and hold. Then you click Paint Bucket tool. Now that you have this selected, you'll see a weird no symbol. Just click. The shape layer must, I never read that. Just click OK, and then, select a different color. I usually go like black. And then simply, boom, now it's filled in. You're probably like, okay, this still looks pretty stupid. Well, you take your magic wand tool, which basically highlights a giant, large amount of color, and you click the red. Now, you'll see these dotted lines, and these dotted lines are a good thing. Do not panic. And basically, if you do want these dotted lines gone, and you just want to keep this, click again if you did that. Now, anyways, back to the dotted lines. You have these wonderful dotted lines that you don't know what to do. Well, I'm going to show you what to do with these dotted lines. Once these dotted lines are surrounding the red rectangle, click the delete key on your keyboard. And boom, you have the background again. Now you're probably like, yeah, well, now I just have this stupid background, what do I do? Well, this is shape 1, as you can see down here. Now shape 1 is basically, oh yeah, by the way, click when you're done doing that to get rid of that dotted circle. Anyways, shape 1 is your border. This black border is my border, and yeah, that's my border. So, once you have your border in, what you want to do is go to Layer, click it, Layer Style, and remember this exact way to do it. Always click Layer and go down to Layer Style, and then simply pick one of these. I could guess it doesn't matter, but my highly suggested way of going about this would start with Bevel and Emboss. Now click this, and you're simply making it stand out more. Now you're probably like, oh, so what you do if you're confused is you take this, it's called depth. Please rewatch this if you get confused, but depth all the way up. Always have the depth all the way up.
Size, do not have this all the way up, because then it looks like you just
clunked some metal on the floor, you want to just have the size appropriate to the way you want it. I usually do it about this, and then I soften it a little to give it a little less of an edgy look. And then after you do that, go to gradient overlay, if you so choose. And now you're seeing all this and you're like, wait, why is it not on gradient overlay? That's just because you checked gradient overlay. You have to click the word gradient overlay to get to the options for it. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is change the color, because no one wants a black and white border. I mean, unless you do, but white will just look bad in the end. So you're going to want to just see this right here, the white part. There'll be black and then white. What you want to do is double click this. What I usually do is just make it another color. Or you can make it all the same solid color, which of course could be totally red, or whatever color you want, which in that case you would probably get rid of the gradient overlay. But I like to have a nice gradient overlay of, I don't know, just any color. Usually black and red, which is my favorite color combination. Now you can change the angle. This is the angle. See, now the red is on this side and the black is over here because of the angle it's pointed at. Negative 63-degree angle, it's corner to corner basically. So that's usually what I do. Now click OK. You're pretty much done with that. You have nothing to worry about for the border. Now the border is done. That may have taken a while, but that's just because I am describing it in a video through a long process. In reality, this would have taken me under a minute. Now, see where it says shape 1? You have all this confusing stuff down here. Now what you want to do is look at the garbage can and go to the left. It'll say create a new layer. You simply just click. Now, layer 1 is over shape 1, and you don't want that. So click shape 1, and you can simply just drag it till you get this black line right here. And then let go, and shape 1 is now on top of layer 1. What that does is it puts shape 1 basically in a literal physical order. So like, let's say you actually cut out a piece of paper that was a border, and then you put it on top of another white piece of paper. That's what you would do. But this is a digital program, so you have to drag it on top. Now you go to layer 1. Now the best thing I like to do with layer 1 is make the background. Now for the background, you got all these fun tools to play with. The first tool you're going to want to play with is the gradient tool. Now this tool personally helps me a lot with this layer. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure you want your colors right. Now once you have your colors, yes, you double tap up there once you select gradient tool over here. Now once you get here, you're going to want to select a good gradient that you want to use. I usually start with this and then change the color. At this point I would make it like a very dark gray and a black. So it kind of looks like it's fading now. You can have the gradient go like, now you wait. You take the gradient, you click, drag, boom. Basically, the longer you drag, the more the gradient kind of fades. So like if I dragged it like this, see how it's more thin of a line? Like this, it's a complete, almost solid line. Look at that, just like that. But I usually drag it out really far because it overall just looks better. Now you have this blank thumbnail. Now you're probably thinking, what do I do with this? Because now I just have this stupid thumbnail that's totally blank. Now don't click off yet, because what you do here is now this part is the creative do your own thing part. So click the T, I would start with, and simply just click, type in whatever you want. Now I did a Five Nights at Freddy's video, which will probably be up by the time this one gets uploaded. So I'm going to just simply type in Five Nights, enter, at Freddy's, part 2. Well, hold on. Part 2. Now, at this point, you're sitting here with this text. Now, I downloaded this font. This is a custom font. Otherwise, you have just the regular default font, which I have a lot of fonts. Now, see, the problem is I can't give you the download link to this font because I'm not quite sure where I got it. I kind of found it on a website, but it's called Wide Awake Black if you want to search for it. Anyways, now you have this. You can have it centered, so it's all kind of going, oh geez, hold on. So it's all kind of going down the middle like that, or you can have it on the opposite side. So it's kind of going like that. Right now, I'm going to keep it on this side, because I'm going to have it right here. Now in order to change the text, in any way, you're going to have to highlight all of the text. Now you could do all sorts of fun things. See this? This is the general color for the layer you're doing. So whatever layer you're on, the color used for it is going to be black, or whatever you change it to. Now I can change the color of the text by going like this, or 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 this. Whatever you choose to do. Now, since it's Five Nights at Freddy's, for some reason I like to associate Five Nights at Freddy's with a nice blue. Why? I'm not sure, but I really like the color blue when it's associated with Five Nights at Freddy's. That's just me. Now notice how I highlighted all the text in order to do that. Now, if you don't think it's standing out enough already, I'm not done. See, now that you have your text down, it's technically a layer. So what you do is you click Layer, you go to Layer Style, you go to Bevel and Emboss if you want to do this. It's totally up to you. I'm going to do it just because it really makes it stand out more, you know? And size, like I said, appropriately scaled to how you want it, and I would soften it a little bit, or maybe a lot. And yeah, now you have it, it kind of stands out more. See how it's got that weird lighting coming down on it? Yeah, it really makes it look nice. Now, gradient overlay is now up to you. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But you're probably thinking, how on earth am I supposed to outline this text? Well, there's a lot of different ways. But I'm going to show you probably the easiest way. Well, remember how I showed you gradient overlay? Well, 2 down from gradient overlay is stroke. Now, stroke is basically an outline, but I don't want it in red. I want it in black. And, well, yeah, I'll have it in black. So what I'll do is I'll have it in black, and basically you can change the size. So you can have it like enormously freaking obnoxious, or you can have it nice and thin and perfect to where it's just thick enough to be noticed. Now, if you still do not think this stands out enough, then I guess we could do a few other things. Outer glow is, well, kind of self-explanatory because it's literally an outer glow. Now this gives it a nice little glow effect to it that'll make it more noticeable when people are scrolling through their, their feed and suggested videos. You can make it really big and glowy, or you can just make it subtle and glowy. It's completely up to you. I'm going to keep it subtle and glowy because that's just me. Now, if you don't think it's still good enough, I'm just going to do the gradient overlay to show you that gradient overlay is beautiful in almost every aspect of every thumbnail, because you can never really go wrong with gradient overlay. Now I'm going to make this a nice white, but I'm going to have blue kind of overpowering the white. Oh, will I? I don't know. It's up to you, like I said. Now, you have your nice little overlay going on there. Once you have that, you should be just about done. Unless you want to unless you want to put in different pictures. Now I'll show you how to do that next in just a moment. When you're finished here, click OK. Now you're probably thinking, well, everything's fine and dandy, but how do I move my text? Well, see how you're hovering over your text right now, and then if you click, it selects, and you're like, why can't I drag it? Well, basically, you can click anywhere on this picture and drag, and it will move your text. See, just like this. Now you're probably thinking, well, don't you want to put like a picture of Freddy Fazbear? Obviously not. Once again, I am just kidding. Now in order to put a picture of Freddy Fazbear in here, you can't simply just drag and drop pictures on here willy-nilly. You have to go to File. Follow these carefully because if you don't do it correctly, it could be bad. you have to go to File, and you have to go to Place. Now, Place is dulled out. It's not bold because I can't select it. Now, you're probably thinking, why? Well, basically, I don't know. That's my explanation. What I do is I just go to Shape 1, and then I go to File. Why? I'm not quite sure, but I guess it just doesn't let you do it when you have text select as a layer. I don't know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, I don't know, a picture. Well, we'll go find a picture. I probably have one laying around this computer somewhere. Let's see. Ignore all my weird photos of stuff I like. I probably have a Freddy Fazbear picture around here somewhere. Huh, this is odd. Oh, I know where it is. Okay. Now, what I did is I saved a bunch of PNG files in one folder. And I just... Oh, yes. You have to have a no background one. So it basically places without a background, and it's just the figure that you want on there. Like, just Freddy Fazbear, not Freddy Fazbear with a black background. And those are called PNG files. So it's basically just search Freddy Fazbear PNG. Or, you know, whatever you want to do. But if I could just find this folder, that would be very helpful. Huh. I can't seem to find it. Well, I guess we'll just have to go download one. Well, if you don't know how to get a PNG file, which is a file with no background, like I said, go to your internet browser and basically just type in whatever you want as a PNG file. Like I could do John Cena PNG. I did that. I literally did that for a video. I made that the thumbnail. Now we're gonna do Freddy Fazbear PNG. Freddy Fazbear PNG. Images. Now I'll look for a nice one that I like. Since I didn't make a real thumbnail for this years ago, I'll make a real thumbnail one now. Well, not years. Really, just a year ago I made this video. But hey, this thumbnail is going to be a lot better. Now, basically, oh god, it's lagging. Basically, just scroll through until you find one you like. Like this one, I like this one. Now, to know it's a PNG file, it has these dotted lines in the background of it. See the dotted lines? That shows it's a PNG file. If it doesn't have those dotted lines, it's probably just a picture with a background. So what you're going to want to do is drag and drop that on your desktop, or you can simply right click and save image as, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go back into Photoshop, and I'm going to click File, Place. Now you go to the location that you saved your photo in, which would be my desktop. Now here it is. This is the PNG file. Simply select that and move it to the appropriate place. Now you're probably like, this is not the scale I wanted. Well, you're definitely going to want to just grab the corner and drag it to the appropriate size. Now, you're probably like, but the freaking picture doesn't stand out still. Well, remember what I told you earlier. Oh, wait. To place the actual photo, you have to right-click it and click Place. And now it's officially down. Now this is a whole different layer, different from your other layers. So what you want to do is you can also, once again, go click Layer, Layer Style. You don't have to bevel and emboss this one, but I would definitely suggest an outer glow. Now you want it to match the one of the text, so it doesn't look real, weird. Now you can move this window aside so you can now see your Freddy Fazbear face. Now what you want to do is probably increase the size of the glow just a tad so it stands out a bit more. And the stroke. I'll make it blue. I think it should be blue. Definitely should be blue. You know what? Just to match, we'll make the outer glow blue too. Now we can, oh, I don't know what this is, don't click it. Now we can make the size a bit bigger so it looks like it's glowing. And this is my Five Nights at Freddy's thumbnail tutorial video, and I'm pretty sure that's all you can really do for a thumbnail to make it stand out. There's a lot of other options for this. You don't need to just do this. You can do tons of other things with Photoshop, but this is the easiest way, I thought, to make a thumbnail on Photoshop CS2. Now I'm going to leave the description, or well, I'm going to leave a link in the description how to get Photoshop CS2 for free. Now it is not an illegal download, folks. Please don't worry. It's totally legal. It's just Adobe thought it was basically so outdated that they could just give it away for free. So people like me took advantage of this. Now one last thing I'm going to do to this thumbnail is click place. And this is something I definitely do for every one of my thumbnails, just in case people were to steal them. I always put my logo down in the corner or on the side. I always put it somewhere so nobody can steal my video. Thumbnail, at least. Now what I do is I just sit there and right click, place. Now if you're like, well, it's not where I want it, it's not close enough to the edge. Right now you can't really flip it or turn it or anything, but what you can do is you can still move it, I believe, with the arrow keys. Why isn't that doing it? Okay, I guess it's not doing it. I accidentally cleared a text layer. Oh, I know what you have to do. Go to the select option, move tool, click this. And if that still doesn't work, then this is pretty hopeless. But just make sure you place it in the right place the first time, and everything should work fine. Oh wait, no, see, you can move it with the place tool. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, now I move it just a little over the thumbnail border to make it stand out more. And of course, as usual with every layer, I always do either a stroke, an outer glow, or a bevel and emboss. Or, you know, all three. But right now I'm just going to do an outer glow, just to make it stand out barely a little bit. And I'm going to just make the size a bit bigger. I always make the size so it's kind of like defined around the text, but it's not like, you know, all over the place. But I need to make it noticeable, but not too noticeable, because it's really just my logo. There's nothing special about it. And this was my thumbnail tutorial. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. Comment if I should do an easier thumbnail tutorial that doesn't involve Photoshop, because I also know how to do that. Although your thumbnails may not be as noticeable, they sure will be easier and free to make. Yep. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys find a good use for making thumbnails in the future. And that's all I really got to say, besides to export the file, you basically just go down to... This was confusing for me, but you click Save for Web. And then it'll bring you to Adobe Bridge. I think. I'm not sure. But it'll take you to some other application. And basically just make sure it says preset, PNG and stuff, and click save. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Meet the Fox. Deuces.